everyone, and welcome back to another day with Jay.
I was going to do that. Hi, everybody. Tamara here again, and welcome back to another day with Jay. I have something exciting I want to do, and something that I had planned for the gallery. Should I do full disclosure? Okay. First and foremost, I was going to steal all of Tamara's trophies that you can see freely swimming around and having a great time in their beautiful 180-gallon aquarium that they have. I was going to take all of these guys and all of the frontosa and put them out in the 375. However, there's a lot of moving parts going on out there, most of which nobody knows about. And I might have to disclose a little bit during this video for a lot of this to make sense. However, I wanted a ultimate Lake Tanganyika aquarium. I wanted frontosa and tropheus, which nobody does because these are two incredibly expensive fish, to cohabitate in the same aquarium. With that said, in the 375-gallon aquarium out here in the aquarium gallery is my absolutely beautiful electric eel, occupying the entire space. And isn't that funny? Is that we thought that if we put this big fish in a bigger tank, he'll be happier. It actually kind of backfired on me. He's less active. He only occupies maybe 6 square feet of the aquarium. He's always on the opposite side of the tank. The only way I can get him to come out is if I feed him or I knock on the tank. And maybe he'll come out if he's hungry. So I knew that at some point I was probably going to have to move him to a 180-gallon aquarium again. He started out in a 180, then I moved him to the basement, then I moved him out here. But to be abundantly fair, there's not a lot of documentation on electric eels kept in the home aquarium outside of how big they get. They produce a massive electric charge. But husbandry isn't really documented. However, all electric eels die in captivity. That's a topic that I'm going to cover here shortly. Not in this video. So I knew I was taking the electric eel out of here, and Tamara was getting her fish room, and I thought, what if she could have both those 180s to herself? She could start from a clean slate with 2 180-gallon tanks. And I said to her, I was like, I'll take all the African cichlids, I'll take all the tropheus, and I'll take all of the frontosa, and I'll put them into my 375. The electric eel, I have other tanks that I could put him in. And Tamara's like, oh, okay. But she loves her tropheus. She loves the frontosa. She's been caring for them almost exclusively for about a year, 6 months?
Yes.
Well, how long has it been?
Yes.
And I felt bad. But she was enthralled and interested in the idea of combining them into a bigger tank. This tank needs to be rescaped. All of these rocks on the back got to be taken down, squished together, made to be so there's no gaps. And then I have other plans that came up. I was offered a fish. It's the only one in the world. I don't think you guys have seen it yet. And I need to grow it out somewhere, and it needs special care. So a lot of, when I'm saying moving parts, is sometimes I have to adapt to things that are coming up, fish that need certain things. It makes sense to put him in a smaller tank because he only occupies a certain amount of space. Plus, of course, he's far more active in a 180. We saw it time and time again. Look, I know I shuffle fish around, but at the end of the day, I know what's best. And when it comes to electric eels, there's not a tremendous amount of people that have a lot of experience with them, and I'm gaining mine. And what I'm finding is they're incredibly similar to flower horns, where the tank should grow with the fish. This will be a temporary grow-out tank for my special fish, and the electric eel will one day come back out here, most likely. But until then, let's create 2 tanks that make total sense. 1, the ultimate African cichlid tank. 2, the electric eel tank. And let's put them down in the new fish room. And let's go do it right now. The downside is all of the frontosa, which are 9 at this point, can't go into this tank with over 30 tropheus. So I made the executive decision of let's narrow down the tropheus to about 15 And then let's narrow down the frontosa to 1 male, 3 females. The tropheus we left behind are too big to be consumed by the frontosa, yet we left enough tropheus behind that we still have a very healthy colony. Approximately 15. I don't want to touch this tank. It is the absolute perfect tropheus tank. Do you know how I know it's perfect? When you set up the perfect tropheus aquarium, and or darn near any aquarium, depending on the fish, a lot of the times you should never see the fish. But there are special moments when the tropheus come out, the frontosa aren't hiding, that we are greeted with something that is so gorgeous and so glorious that we remind ourselves of why we got into the hobby in the first place. Just the perfect fish tank. Which leaves me with asking you guys a question. What truly got you into the fish tank? Describe the exact aquarium that you saw in the comment section below that you thought, I need a fish tank now.
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Definitely leave that comment because I want to know.
And you have Queen's Cove, and we still don't have a name for this side yet. Can I show them? I haven't showed my viewers.
Show them.
I had to build an emergency quarantine system with 2 40-gallon breeders. Don't look at the fish that are in there, which kind of changed a lot of things. Doesn't matter. Let's go back to this video. But once those fish are in the 2,000, people are going to lose their mind. And do you know why I say those types of things? It's because I'm going to lose my mind. If I lose my mind as a psychopath, normal people should relatively lose their minds. We've already selected the fish that are coming out of here. Originally, I thought, well, the Tropheus bemba to give to a buddy of mine was super simple. He already had an established colony in a 240. A 240 is 8 feet long. This is 6. So I guess it would come to here. It would be 8 feet long by 2 by 2, and he already had like 15 or 20 Tropheus bemba. And I was like, hey, you want to take 15 more? And he's like, how much? And I was like, well, you'll be doing me a favor. He was here within like 20 minutes and we started catching fish. I forgot that these guys are not cheap. So we've got about 15 left in there, and then we're going to add 4 more frontosa. Now this is the micro version, and where me and Tamara find our happy place, because the 375 I would have did all 30 and I would have did all 9 frontosa in the tank. And we don't get to see this. We never get to see this. But this tank is better than this tank. Even though it's not finally scaped, I was hoping with this scape to have taller rocks, almost like getting smaller and smaller. Obviously this one tipped over. And I thought the frontosa would like occupy this open space. They did not.
I was a little bit reluctant to give away half of my Tropheus colony. However, it was the only way that I would be able to keep them down here in my Queen's Cove.
Tamara, I'm not abusive.
You know what? It was my
this was
good
like
deed
a happy medium.
It was a good deed
We
for
found,
me to do.
To be fair, you're going to lose all of them to that 375 because, okay, 1 in the comments, if the 375 with all of the Lake Tanganyika was the better idea. 2, if this happy medium works out better long term because we bring the, well, it has to happen because I
already gave them away. Too late.
I shouldn't start sentences with because I. It sounds so selfish.
Used to it. Just kidding.
You're brutal.
In a silly, goofy mood.
First and foremost, we're going to grab Big Daddy, I think. He tends to be the slowest moving. But
do you have to sex him?
I was going to, but I can tell.
I really just don't think you need to.
I can tell at this
Who's
size if they're males or females.
Is that him?
No.
Oh. Who's that?
This is a little girl.
She's so pretty.
We have 2 big males, but Big Daddy is the most impressive male. He's definitely going next. This is him.
Oh, man.
He's 10 inches.
Do I have to call him Big Daddy when it's on my channel?
No.
Frig.
His nickname's
He
Joe.
literally just gave me a shower. Look at my head.
His nickname's Joey. All right.
The camera's soaked.
There's another female. We'll have,
Jesus.
I believe, 2 black widows. A regular Burundi. Oh, there's another black widow.
Wow.
Who are you? Oh,
Who
there's a
are
little
you?
girl too. I think you're actually gonna get
These
1, 2.
These are really pretty.
How many frontosa did I put in there so far?
4 now.
4? So you have 3.
I
You
feel
might
like
have.
they're chasing the trophies out of the crevices, and now the trophies have to swim around.
I'll give it time.
That was crazy. How wet he made me.
Right. We've got another black widow, and I believe.
That was the kindest one. It didn't splash us.
Okay. The last ones are all males. 4 big males. 1,
Those
2.
are all males?
Yeah. 4. We had 9. So you mean you have 1 to 4. A 1 to 4 ratio. You have 1 big one and then 4 males. Now these males are gonna come over here until I figure out what we can do with them.
That's a male?
Yes.
Because of the hump on his head?
Mm-hmm. Huh. And he's beat up. So males will always beat up males. We could have vented them, and I could have explained how to do that, but...
Jeez, look at the splashes they
No,
do.
he's being dramatic. He might
They're
have...
like a dog shaking off before you're ready when you give them a bath.
These are only 40-gallon breeders, but they have an incredible amount of filtration, so I'm not abundantly worried about them. Venting, for educational reasons, I probably should have did, but I already knew what the females were, with a high chance of probability. But even venting is the same idea. You can come look at this one. This is a male. And you can see its anal vent is above, and they're the same size. With females, they're different sizes. It's clearly a male. But in order to see a male from female, you should have examples of both. However, you really don't get to learn that stuff until you actually do it.
Okay, I have to see how these guys look.
Were they chasing the Tropheus?
They were going in and around the rocks.
When you said that, that literally stressed me out.
Did it?
Yeah, like how bad are they chasing them?
They were just following them around, like seeing what they were doing.
Do we have a stool?
There's a stool.
Actually, because these tanks are only 5 feet tall and I'm 6'7", I don't need
6'7" tonight.
My back
Where'd you
hurts,
go?
Tamara. Because of my height, I don't technically need a stool, so I could just reach in and correct this. Stand my rock up.
You're just standing on the floor?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Where do people stand, Tamara?
Look how tall you are.
Yeah. Well, you were wearing heels in the wedding photos. So there we have it.
A tank of rocks.
It's going to have
another
an
tank of
electric eel in it. And I don't care how many requests that you get. If people want updates on the eel, you're not allowed to film it. Actually,
What?
you're not allowed to film anything. So if you're subscribing to Tamara's channel, hoping that not only do you get to see her stuff, but mine, just
I'm
unsubscribe
a
right
person
now.
that will sneak off into the areas I'm not supposed to be. That sounds really bad. I shouldn't call myself a sneaky person like it's like something to brag about.
You are quite sneaky.
I'm not sneaky.
You
I
are
take it
quite
back. I
sneaky.
take it back. I am only sneaky on my channel and coming back here. No, that still doesn't sound good. No.
Like a little rat. So if you were to sneak back here, how would you do it?
If I was gonna sneak,
Yeah. How would you do it?
I'd be holding my camera and I'd be like,
No, you'd have like a little piece of cheese or something.
maybe back
Get
here
a
we
little
can have
sneak.
a look around. But I have to
Now
go
see
back
how
here
cool
and get
this
my
looks
food.
from both sides. Don't worry about your food.
I'm gonna be back there all the time.
I'm not a huge fan of the fact that this has a background and this has a background.
It doesn't. It's paint.
Well, it's a painted background, but this one doesn't. But the purpose of this is so that we can see the electric eel from all angles. The other thing is I'm thinking, because I haven't had him light up a sign yet or make sounds through any sort of speaker. I'm thinking that if I do, not if, I'm gonna put him in there. When I put him in here, I might have a sign that goes right over there that only lights up when he lights it up. And if you know or have an idea of what that sign should say, because in the last time I asked you guys this, you guys came up with a lot of suggestions. There's only one that I'm willing to go with. But if you have more suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. I'm definitely going to pick one.
It's going to say drink up, and every time he lights it, you have to take a shot, even if you're in the middle of filming a video. Just kidding.
I love that idea.
I don't want to encourage that type of behavior.
Yeah. But if you do have an idea, leave a comment in the comment section below. And like always, I will potentially use your idea and certainly not credit you for it. I'm going to give the camera to Tamara, and I hope you guys leave me alone. And stop making me...
Don't leave him alone.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did,
give it a thumbs up. Make sure
if you guys enjoy... Tamara.
If you guys enjoyed this video,
make sure you give it a thumbs up.
Subscribe if you're not already.
And I'll see you guys next one.
Because now we're combined.
We're not. I hate it here. I hate it. We're never doing this again.
Anyways, we are going to